I am your host, Phillip Lanos, and today we have Chef Ming Tsai to crush it with us today. A world-renowned Chinese-American restaurateur, a chef, a cookbook author, James Beard Award winner, Emmy Award winner, and host of the longest-running cook show on PBS. You're good. I can do it over. No worries.
Yeah, sorry. I do. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you're opening a restaurant. Give me one second. Sorry. Hey, Chad, go ahead. Real quick.
So I was just going to let you know, I think that we're just going to get everything ready for the food truck.
Okay.
And we'll come in earlier tomorrow and worry about it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you look like you're pretty set.
Yeah, no, we're pretty set. I just wanted to make sure everything's open, but they've got a lot going on, so I'm not trying to press anybody as long as it's going to be here.
And look, if there's no truck tomorrow, we don't open. So it's that simple. All right, thanks, Shadow. How long are you here till today? Cleaning up? Good. Awesome. Thank you, man. I'm so sorry, Philip.
You're good, man. You're good.
But for the record, that was a really good intro, man.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
I wanted you to practice. What the hell? All right.
I like your style. All right. Let's do it again. Thank you for tuning into the Action Ambition Podcast. I am your host, Phillip Lanos, and today we have Chef Ming Tsai to crush it with us, a world-renowned Chinese-American chef, restaurateur, cookbook author, James Beard Award winner, Emmy Award winner, and host of the longest-running cooking show on PBS. In fact, today he announced the highly anticipated launch of his first consumer packaged food product, Ming's Bings. Ming's Bings are vegan, gluten-free, food allergen-friendly, contain 6 grams of protein per Bing, and are available for purchase online nationwide. Chef Ming Tsai, talk to me, man. How's it going in the world of restaurants these days?
Oh God, we could talk for 10 hours about the world of restaurants, or actually talk about 10 seconds, because our industry, unfortunately, is disseminated. Right? COVID chaos has hit the restaurant industry. I don't know if it's the hardest one hit. But we've been hit hard. There's the horrible statistics that 50 to 75% of all mom and pops in this country will not make it, will not open back up. I'm one of the casualties. I have Blue Dragon in downtown Boston. We proudly were a food pantry through May 30th. So for 3 months, feeding all the unemployed restaurant employees, especially, in Boston, the Latino and African American, a lot of them work in the industry. A lot of them are under the radar, and that simply means no unemployment check, no bailout, no nothing, and they can't go home. That's one of the just worst crises of what COVID is doing. Obviously, over 250,000 deaths, and it affects lots of industries as well. But we are over 20 million employees, and everyone knows this. Yes, you can go support your restaurant. Yes, you can go and do to go and take out. It's just not enough. We have to have the government step in. And, I think the new government will. I just don't know if that's going to be soon enough, because we need billions of dollars. We have the Restaurants Act right now. It's what should have been done in the very beginning. So much should have been done in the very beginning, right? But it's so hard. I'm lucky. My entire livelihood does not depend on one restaurant. That's not the common case for lots of mom and pops, right? It's the mom in the front, the dad in the back, or vice versa. The kids work and dishwash. It's their entire life. So when you take that away, you're literally taking away their whole life. And that's just literally, honestly, Philip, for 5-6 weeks when this thing first hit, I could not sleep. I just couldn't figure out how I could help not just my 30 employees that work with me, but just the industry. It's just that's it.
I cannot imagine the level of pressure that you're under.
It's mind-boggling how it affects. You're right. People don't realize, unless you're in it, you just can't realize how difficult it is. Plus, on top of all of that, we are, and I hate this in an interview, but this is true. We are hospitality people, right? We like to be with other people.
Yeah.
We want to be hospitable. We want to hug. We want to have a toast. And all of that, plus the restaurant family, right?
Yeah.
The chef is in charge of like 20 people. They're family, right? They're not employees. They're people you eat with, comida every day. There's the people you close the restaurant there. These are the people you go out with. That has all been ripped away. And by the way, I know every other person on the industry is also not going out, but we work, eat, live, drink restaurants. So it's the whole social fabric of our community. And that's just been like in a day, in a phone call. Okay, stop. That's so hard. And look, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, we're pretty resilient as an industry. That's not a big deal. But look, it's going to be over a year, right?
Yeah.
There's no question that it's just how much more than a year, it's, I am optimistic. I have heard through lots of people that are in pharma, that are in the industry, that know what's going on, that there actually may be lots of vaccines by this spring. So we may have a normal summer. That would be awesome. I'm gonna pray on that, because I'd rather pray on that than the other side. And
Man.
and I just hope some restaurants can get through. By the way, for the record, kind of like the roaring 20s after the Spanish flu, if you can make it through, you're going to be a busy restaurant. Right? People are going to want to go out and eat and drink like no abandon. And people are going to be so much more grateful, right? Just to be able to go to a movie, no big deal. It's going to be like an event to go to a movie, right?
That's
Think
right.
about that. So there's that light. I don't know how far that light is at the end of the tunnel, but it's at least it's there, right? And but I've been touched. I've had a couple chef friends die from COVID. I've
Oh
had a family member that's
man.
infected right now. It affects everyone. It's like cancer, actually. It touches everyone, right? And so I I've been saying this, and this will, if I may segue into a thing we've been doing for Ming's Bings called Ding Dong Ditch Remix. So Ding Dong Ditch, you remember the old prank? You ring the doorbell, you run
Yeah.
away. The old man or woman comes out, which could be me, like, what? And everyone laughs in the bushes. Well, Ding Dong Ditch Remix is a program we started for Ming's Bings, because I have a Bing mobile. So we went to an ICU nurse. She was awesome, right? They're so tired, these nurses. The frontline doctors and nurses, they're our true superheroes. We went to Paisley had a cancer survivor, 5 years old, half of her life's been in cancer treatment. Anyway, we rang the doorbell. Instead of running away, we left a basket of Ming's Bangs, and that was their surprise. But then I actually drove up in the Bing mobile, and then I cooked it for them. We did a quick pop-up restaurant. So that was the creation of Ding Dong Ditch Remix. But what I'm trying to do now, thank you for chatting with me, Phil, is I want everyone else, you don't have to drop off Ming's Bings with a Bing mobile. No, you could drop off a basket of house-baked cookies or lasagna or 2 candy bars. It's just that everyone in our lives right now, we have someone that could use a little surprise, a little gift of kindness. It could be the doorman. It could be I did it at the airport in Minneapolis. I bought $30 of stuff and I gave it to the person at Delta who was checking us in. And I guarantee you, Philip, and I know you're of the same DNA, you feel so much better when you give than when you receive.
100%.
And I've been saying this since COVID started. We talk about the COVID, right? Here's the COVID steepness, right? If the kindness curve can be just steeper than the COVID curve, then we got this. And I just think if everyone could just push it, and it's not, you don't have to have money either, right? It could literally just be your Hershey's Kiss. It's just the act of I'm thinking of you, and I hope you're okay. If we all did this in this country, that would just be a miracle. And do we need this more than ever before? Yeah. Everyone would love to be surprised by gifts of kindness. So Ding Dong Ditch Remix, guys. If you do it, please videotape you, right? You can Instagram live, however you do your social, but please just add the hashtag Ding Dong Ditch Remix. And we really want it to get out there because if anything should go viral, it should be kindness. That would be the best viral campaign ever. Let's spread kindness. No one can argue about that. Doesn't matter your politics, doesn't matter your sexual persuasion, doesn't matter your race. Kindness works in all languages.
Man, I literally, in that one moment alone, I can see exactly why it is you've arrived to the heights that you have, achieved the success you have, and why you're so resilient even now. Literally, that
Yeah,
should be the name of this episode. Something along the lines of kindness curve, just bigger than the COVID curve. It's just so
steeper. Got to
powerful.
be steeper.
Steeper.
Yeah. Oh, it's and by the way, I didn't invent kindness, right? Kindness
Hey.
has been around, I think, since day one.
Really? You
But you
don't
forget about it.
say. Yeah, it's
Maybe
true.
you take it for granted. I mean, we've had so much more time to think, right? Every single person on this planet, we've had a lot more alone time, or at least time
Yeah, we have.
we have more time to think. And you can wallow in the sorrow and the horribleness and the death and the despair,
Some
or
people
you
do.
can try to rise above it, right? And look, I'm very blessed, right? I'm healthy, right? And my family's healthy, and that's all that matters. And that's not the case for everyone. And it's just there's such a need everything's been accentuated, exponentially increased because of COVID. If you were poor, you're even more poor, right? If you had an issue here, that issue is even larger, whatever it is, because, you know, every single mom and dad on this planet has one singular goal: is take care of your kids and take care of your parents, right? That's how we're put on this planet. And when you see something start affecting that, that's when you have to adjust, right? And especially us parents, because if we lose it, our kids are going to be like, wait, you're the parents, you guys please keep it together. And it's hard. If it was easy, we'd all be doing it. It's hard, but you just have to figure out what you can do, to try to make a difference. And it's just that much. As long as we trend that much, just trend, then we'll make it, right? But we have to have intention. You have to think about that, right? You can't just assume it's going to come. If COVID's done anything for us, is the things we've taken for granted. Just the hug, just walking down the street with no mask on, those things, right? I think people realizing we're coming back to the basics, that air and water matter, right?
Yeah.
We never thought about air and water before now, but now we think about air because it's in the air. It's an aerosol disease. And we will get clean air back. And I think, and I hope people are going to appreciate life more. And this whole act of kindness, I hope doesn't just stop once COVID goes. I hope that propagates exponentially.
Right. Hopefully that becomes the American culture every day,
Yes.
which would be
Take
awesome.
care of your neighbor.
Yeah.
Take care of your neighbor. That's just, it doesn't, back in the day, you never said what's your political party or anything. No, you just took care of your neighbor. We're
Yeah.
fellow human beings. We're the most intelligent, apparently, creature on this planet. So we should really stick to that.
Now, I want to get into Ming's Bings, right? So, it's already
Nice.
hard enough to be an entrepreneur. Hard enough just in general to be an entrepreneur running a business in this economy. Then on top of that, you're a restaurateur, right? You and not just one but multiple locations. So the amount of sheer stress, I'm not even going to ask about it, mum's the word. But I realized that you decided the best thing to do is to create Ming's Bings. And I want to know, is it major distribution? Can it be found all across the US?
Yep.
What's the scope on
So,
this?
I don't know who said this, but someone told me that hard work brings more good luck. I don't know if that's true. It's worked so far for me. And the reason I say that is I launched Ming Bings. I established the company 1 month before COVID, right? I didn't know there was COVID coming.
Wow.
I didn't know restaurants were going to be closed. It was serendipity. I've been working on it for a couple of years, the project, right? I was starting to line up people, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. That was exactly 30 days before COVID. And the idea was, because it's always been in my DNA, that I've always believed that food is medicine, that you are what you eat. And it's in the Asian diet, right? And I'm Chinese. And like, for example, a ribeye steak, which I do enjoy maybe once every 2 months now, that in America feeds one person. That in China can feed 8 people even more deliciously, right? You add a bunch of plants and garlic and ginger and all that. Protein, meat is used as flavoring. It's not the center of the plate. And
Oh,
and everyone knows the more vegetables you eat, doctors have been saying it, carrots for your eyes, but vegetables are better for you, period. No one can ever argue that, right? Plant-based is better for you. Plant-based is so much better for the earth as well. We have one world, right? There is global warming. You can talk to any polar bear or just look at glacier caps. There's global warming. I'm a science guy. I believe in stuff like this. Look at this. This is called, boom, that's called gravity. You cannot believe in it. It doesn't mean it's not there. Gravity is definitely there, and you can never not have gravity, right? Science is science. So by eating more plant-based is going to be, I'm not saying don't eat meat, don't eat chicken. No, I'm just saying a couple times a week, go plant-based instead. That will immensely help this world. But most importantly, Ming's Bings are delicious, right? So the idea is, okay, I want food as medicine. I'm going to grab the best superfoods that are delicious. There's a lot of superfoods that don't taste good, but they're still superfoods. But a lot of superfoods that do taste good. So I wanted to get a collection of stuff that tasted great together. So actually what you're eating is something that's delicious, which is the only reason you'd ever buy anything, and rebuy, by the way. But pick it such that it makes sense. So let me digress, since we have the time,
yeah.
that 3 years ago, pre Ming's Bing's creation, I had the worst news any person would ever hear. My wife got stage 4 lung cancer out of the blue, right? She's a non-smoker. Talk about rocking your world. Nothing rocks your world than when your best friend, lover, wife, mother of two, um, get that. So we smartly, or luckily, again, lived in Boston, best city in the world probably for people with cancer. And because of Karma, which is always doing these charity events for Dana-Farber and MGH and all this. And because of that, the CEO. So I asked for my favor. I'm like, all right, guys, my wife has an issue. Let's go. And amazing what Dana-Farber did. This oral therapy, she's been cured. It's called Degree So, cancer wiped out. But we also changed our lifestyle. I slowed down. I had a fast casual Chinese concept called Chowsters I was going to launch. I pulled that plug. We did start smelling the coffee, right? We started enjoying and realizing life is precious. She also went vegan. All the research we've done, and we're big energy people as well. So she doubled down on Reiki and acupuncture and massage and energy work, a shaman. I mean, literally every possible thing we did. We did all of that. Plus, she went vegan. Juicing in the morning, celery juice. I'm having one right here. I did the same. I got to join this ride. She still will eat a little fish and if I'm cooking it, but in general, vegetables. And this is pre-COVID. I still was traveling though. So I actually literally went to these grocery stores, the Whole Foods of the world, and say, okay, what veggie patties, I heard of them, right? Could she enjoy? So when I'm not there to cook, there wasn't one. Kragers and Bocas and Gardines, they're all these kind of hockey puck shaped, emulsified, dry as anything. Every picture is with lettuce and tomato and avocado in a bun. It's the only way you could choke these down. So I became my mission is I'm going to make a better veggie patty. I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to put the emulsification on the outside, i.e. do a wrapper. I'm going to make it bunless because why do you need bread? You want to be eating vegetables. So I decided on watercress, which is one of the healthiest green vegetables in the world, with kale. They both bat what's called on the nutritional density index. They both bat 1,000. Plus watercress is better minerals and vitamins, 6 times more vitamin C than oranges, for example. Shiitake mushrooms, as we all know, immune enhancing foods. Mushrooms are the best immune enhancing foods. And with COVID, you need that. Smart fat and fiber from both GMO-free edamames and pepitas. Antioxidants from 2 types of onions, garlic, and ginger. That's all wok stirred together, wrapped in a gluten-free brown rice wrapper. It also comes pre-oiled, so you don't have to think about it. You can put it in a pan in 12 to 14 minutes. The oil comes out and gets it nice and crisp. Ditto for an air fryer, ditto for an oven. And so that's a good part that tastes good. It also makes you feel good because of all those wonderful superfoods. It also makes you feel good because you know what, this is probably better for the planet, what we talked about earlier. And our third part of this motto is do good, because some proceeds of the sale of Ming's Bings, literally stealing from the Paul Newman formula, some proceeds are going to help both Dana-Farber, which again saved my wife's life, and another awesome charity called Family Reach. I'm the chairman of the National Advisory Board. I've been with there 10 years. I have proudly raised over $8 million to them through food, through Cooking Lives, my event. We're the only national charity that financially helps families with cancer. The number one cause of personal bankruptcy in this country today is cancer. And COVID has exactly proven that. A medical emergency causing a financial emergency. That's what a cancer family lives with every single day. And bluntly, when my wife got cancer, the last thing on my mind is I'm going to end up homeless. That is a common occurrence for people that have the median household income of $50,000, $55,000. One cancer diagnosis, you are bankrupt in months, and it's so scary. So there's systems that are broken, and again, hopefully the new administration, we can figure out that, yes, we need national health care for everyone. I don't care if you're legal or not. You're here, and if you're sick, we help you. You're a human being. But how's that so hard? It's just unbelievable. Just help your fellow mankind. And if they're here on your country, then welcome them. They're here, right? I don't get it. So anyway.
No, there's so much philosophy to the things that you say, and you seem really values and principles centered as a person. I can't imagine that came easily to you. Is that something in your past that like your parents are that way, or how did you develop
Yeah, it's
yourself
very
like
astute,
this?
Phil. Absolutely. as parents and grandparents. Again, I'm blessed. I got to know my grandparents, all four of them.
Wow.
And on my dad's side, Yaya Nanai, which is Chinese for paternal grandparents, they lived in Dayton, Ohio. We used to go 5:30 every Friday night and go have dinner. It was the highlight of my week. They would make their own dumpling skits. They grow their own chilies to make their own sambal, their own hot sauce. They did their own hand pulled noodles. It was one of the reasons I'm a chef, right? Because I was, still am, and will always be hungry. So I always hung out in the kitchen, and I'd always have scraps thrown at me, and I'm like fire and smoke and knives, and I'm like, this is cool. I'm gonna do this. And but an expression that my grandfather and my father would always say, and I practice it, is 好人好报. And 好人好报 simply means if you're a good person, if you're hao means good. If you run this person, if you're a good person, you will have good fortune. That's it.
Man.
But you can't expect it. You can't expect it. You just have to be that good person first. The other stuff follows. But if you're doing it for the fortune, it won't work. It's
there
the
it is.
intention.
Intention. Yeah, I was just gonna say intention.
The intention.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. And I can.
That's why I go back to this Ding Dong Ditch remix. The act of giving makes you feel good, right? I don't need to see the reaction. I know I already did it. I know this person's gonna be happy with that dozen chocolate chip cookies. Plus, I know that person. That's her favorite or his favorite, right? Eventually, 5 days later, it'll come up in a conversation. Oh yeah, that was me. That's fine. But at that moment, you really don't want to see that person, right? Because then you're almost getting the recognition, right? It's better. I guarantee you, it's better if they don't know it's you. It'll make you feel better too. I'm telling you.
Man, no, I love it, man. For me, it's like, okay, so you mentioned something about you're in the middle of opening a restaurant too, which is crazy because we're making this happen in the middle of all that.
Yeah, I'm reopening. So I have a place at a resort called Yellowstone Club. So Yellowstone Club is the most beautiful mountain resort, and we're reopening tomorrow for the season. So we're open December through April, and it's much different, right? We're 50% capacity.
Yeah.
We have these awesome filtration system called Renzair. And anyone that has money, because it's not cheap, they're $3,500 a piece, but it's the best air purification system in existence right now. It's patented. There are these portable units that you plug in. It brings in all the air. One unit can do a 2,000 square foot space in 20 minutes. It brings in air. First filter gets a big, so the second filter, HEPA 13, traps the COVID if there's COVID in the air, and then the UVC light in the middle kills the COVID and expels 99.97% pure air. So we have those all over my restaurant, which makes me feel a lot better. So if someone was infected, and I always have an N95 plus. This is apparently an N96. I don't know if that exists, but I bought into it. And but we all have it. We all wear gloves. We're all sanitized, and fortunately, the restaurant is way wide open. Tables are 8 feet plus apart, but I'm not going to tables. I will be in the kitchen and in my bubble with my cooks. My son is with me too, so obviously he's in my bubble. And my normal going to the kitchens, going out of the kitchen and saying hi to the tables, which I love to do. Actually, I love that part of hospitality. I'm just not going to do it. Not this year, but next year when everything comes back, next summer, I'm putting money on next summer. Then hugs away. I can't wait.
Man, do you have any places out in LA, man, that I would love to check out one of your spots?
I do not. I have lots of buddies in LA. No, I just have Baba and I have Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon's down in Boston, and again, I can't tell you if we're going to reopen or not.
Right, but the Ming's Bings, I could find them at like a Whole Foods or.
So Ming's Bings right now. Actually, this Monday goes national online. So go to mingsbings.com.
Gotcha.
And sign up. And then we can mail 12 and 24 packs anywhere in the country starting Monday. We're doing New England already. And then this Q1 is when we start getting into grocery stores, mostly New England first because I'm a local boy. And then eventually, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Whole Foods, of course, we'd love to. And that's the play. But it's one Bing at a time, actually, is what I say right now. And it's going to be this is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. And but I'm blessed that I actually have a project that won't be open and close and open and close and open and close, which is what basically every restaurateur is going through right now. It's so hard to do that. I don't know if people realize how much money it costs to open and close and open and close. It's not like a light switch. It's not like if you own a retail store, you can leave the stuff on the shelf, it's still good, right? Not food. You can't do that. It's just,
right.
yeah. We just
So,
got to, we just got to wear masks. And hopefully, again, with new administration, we'll have a mask mandate national, just for the sole reason to save lives first. Let's save some lives, and then after that, let's save some businesses too, right? And by the way, if you don't save the businesses, you're going to lose lives as well, right? Let's not hide behind the fact that mental illness is going to grow exponentially in the next 2-3 months. It's just so scary, and in the restaurant industry alone, we have issues with it, and but if you're an unemployed restaurant person the last 3 months now have no money, I just can't imagine. So my suggestion is call your friends, reach out. There's a lot of people by themselves. So you can be by yourself, but reach out. Zoom is a good medium. At least you can see the people, right? Do not be a recluse and just disappear. You can't do that. And I just say anyone out there, if you have a friend that you know that has maybe some issues, reach out. Save a life, reach out and do it regularly. And again, kind of the same vein, you'll feel better. And I'm not saying do it to make
I
yourself
see
feel
what you
better.
I see
No,
what you did
do it.
there. The
Do it
same
do it
thing.
because they need you to do it. And if you do have bouts with depression yourself, and if you do have issues, it's harder, but try to reach out. Reach out for help. There's not going to be a friend or family member that's going to not want to help you. It's not over. Reach out. I can't emphasize enough. There's always hope. There's always hope.
Man, I have a lot of respect for you. I mean, you can't. I say this so often, but you really can't know somebody from one conversation. But I've learned a lot about you, and I don't know if it's intuitive or what, but at least the things that you're doing in the world, I can see why. And honestly, man, I can see why you're also an award winner, and I can't wait to taste some of your grub. I'm definitely gonna order some Ming's Bings myself, just because
Nice.
I've got to try it. You started routing off the ingredients, and
Right.
knives and smoke started coming across my eyes. No, it's great, man. I usually wrap things up by asking someone, at this stage in the game of your career or your life, is there anyone in particular that either you're a fan of or like some trade that you'd be interested in, like having somebody, just meeting somebody? It's business. You never know who's listening, and it's like, oh, I know a guy or I know a girl. Like, is there anyone that you would like to meet in the world who might be listening, because you never know, that you would like to give a shout out to, be like, hey, if you're just like
I
a
would love to. I would love to break bread, or probably more appropriately, share a bowl of rice with the Dalai Lama. I've seen him from afar. I've been one of, I don't know, 30,000 people in the audience. I felt a connection. I'm not sure he felt my connection. I'm not positive. But that would be, he is an enlightened one. And
yeah,
I've not met a lot of enlightened people. So I think that would be, yeah,
you're
that
the
would be one.
first person to
I
name
have
drop
very,
that. Yeah.
I mean, might as well start with the most enlightened being, right? I don't know.
100%.
I've had so much luck in my life, and again, being a chef opened so many doors, and yeah, like, and everyone, and all of us chefs say this because we actually all are friends. Was Julia Child? Julia Child was just she was like the Dalai Lama in the cooking world. She was just on her own aura and literally omnipotent. She was literally 6'2", so she was taller than almost everyone too. A very not a petite little girl. And she just said it like it was. And any chef that knows her, that's been with her, just loves her for that. But I tell you, you asked about how I became me. Well, she was one of my mentors when I first got to cook for her at Blue Ginger when I
Wow.
opened in 1998. I was scared shitless, dude. I was so nervous, and I never get nervous. But this is Julia freaking Child. I'm like, okay, and we cook and this, and she had a at one point, it almost killed me. At one point, waiter's like, Chef, Julie wants to see you. And she just had my foie gras shumai, which is this really light mousse and a sauteed child broth. I'm thinking she's going to say that was the best preparation of foie gras, the most creative or the lightest. And she looks and goes, Chef? I'm like, yes. You do not have one women line cook. I'm like, oh my God, I stabbed myself in my heart. And she was right. I didn't have a woman line cook. It's an open kitchen. It's not because I don't love women. I married a woman, right? It's just that in the industry, especially in 98, there weren't a lot of women line cooks, right? And but at the end, and this is the lesson that I got from her, at the end of the meal, and she didn't have to do this. She literally walked down the entire line and shook everyone's hand and says, "Thank you for a great meal. Thank you so much for the meal. Thank you for the meal." It took her, whatever, 7 minutes, right? But that act of kindness and respect from the dishwasher up to the chef, we always get thanks. We're the chef owners. But the dishwasher stuff, it made their freaking month. It made my month, right? I mean, it's just that, and that, those are the things that's why we have to take care of our old people right now. We all have friends that are old right now. So, we're talking about reaching out to people with mental illness. Reach out to some old people too, because they are lonely. Help. I do this when I see, when I go grocery shopping, you see old people sometimes that are either lost because they don't know about Instacart, and they could be delivered, and they're scared shitless of COVID because they're 85 and 90. They don't have anyone else that can help them. Try to help them. Offer them some help. Say, hey, stay in the car. Give me your list. I'll go shop for you. That costs you nothing. It'll take you 20 minutes, but you might just save someone's life. That's worth 20 minutes, right? So if you're aware of that and look for stuff like that, you can give kindness 15 times a day. It's not just opening a door. Yeah, that's great too, but you can really help people out. And I think if we get back to the why we're put on this planet and think that, we're going to be so much better off. But these old people are going to die if we don't help them, right? So help, guys. Just help. Not that hard.
If I've taken anything away from this conversation, is that if I'm going to go to a place with a chef, they better have a great philosophy, because I know that's going to make for a great meal. Seriously. You're one of the first people I've been able to have an in-depth conversation with that's a chef by profession. And I can tell that if they don't have a great philosophy, the meal isn't going to be that good. I just know it. I just know it.
Possibly, but maybe. Yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
It's so cliche. No, you're probably right. I say this in my team here. I'm like, guys, I know this is cliche, but happy cooks make better food, and happy servers make better service. That's it. So put everything aside and just be the best you can be. That's all I can ask. As long as you try your hardest. If you're trying your hardest, everything else falls into place. If you're not giving me 100%, that doesn't work, because you've been trained too much and you're taking up space for someone that would want to give 110%. So just give 100%. That's true for any industry. Just freaking try your hardest. That's it. And if it doesn't work, and you do it 10 times, then you probably shouldn't be doing that thing, right? Because just maybe you're not going to be in the NBA. Maybe you should then go try something else, right? I mean, for example, I'm 6 feet tall, so yeah, NBA and I is never an option.
Chef,
although Spud did pretty good.
How can people?
Anyway,
how do you prefer for people to reach out to you?
Here, call myself. No. Best is through my website. So either Ming.com or Mingsbings.com, either one of those two. And honestly, I probably respond even faster to social media. So at Ming Tsai on Instagram or at Ming Tsai on Twitter. I'm pretty active. I resisted for years because I'm like, oh, I can't. Oh, social, no way. I'm 56, dude. Right? It's not like I was born yesterday.
Dude, you look great for like 56, 3 or 4 years ago.
Thank God. Thank you, man. It's good. Good air. Red wine, tequila. I realized that you have to play the game. I mean, I have a TV show, so if I choose to be in the public eye, then again, try your hardest. So, absolutely, and I do enjoy it because I get to teach stuff, right? So like I put food up and I'll put up a recipe, and so I'm just spreading knowledge, and that doesn't cost anything, right? And so I actually do enjoy it. It's an active again, passing it out. Why not? And I got to be opinionated too, i.e. through the election and do stuff that made a difference.
Influence, yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
We need more positive influences like you.
We need Georgia. Hey, dude, if you're 21 years old and you're not registered to vote in Georgia, I think it was today or yesterday the last day.
Might have been yesterday.
Last day. Yeah. But if you are 21, go vote. You have 2 senators you need out of Georgia. We need 2 new senators in. We have to go blue. Why do you think I named my restaurants Blue Ginger and Blue Dragon? Come on, gotta go blue. All right, that's my only political statement. Go blue.
Chef, yeah, that was awesome. That was 100% awesome. The
Thank
only
you, Phil.
ingredient in that meal was 100% awesome. I really appreciate having a conversation with you, and I couldn't have picked a better day to have it. It made my day. All the philosophy that you have, I'm gonna walk away a better person. I know you've got a lot going on now, so I'll be respectful of your time. But this is awesome, and I
Thank
can't
you.
thank you enough for stopping by to share some love with everyone.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine. Continued success. You keep spreading the love, right? And it's this world can only get better. It can only
Awesome.
get better.
Cheers,
All right,
brother.
Phil. Peace and love, man. Peace and good eating. Eat more super. That's eat more super.